It is I, and I am here. Thank you so much for joining the live. First of all, let me shout out the replay gang because you guys come through and I love how you comment. So make sure you type a replay when you're watching this in the replay. But for those of you who are here inside Pagati within during the live, can we do a mic 1 2 check? Mic testing. Drop a one in the comment section. Let me know you are here inside Pagati within. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Mzansi Unfiltered, aka GNU Unfiltered. I realize there's confusion or people are just not sure, but let me tell you something. It is I, okay? Miss I Digress on both channels. We're streaming live at the same time. Just want to show you, okay? Today, technology is technologying. We are here, okay? Literally here. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? I just want to check in and say, how are you doing after all we heard in the last 3 days? Well, technically, it's been 5 days, but 3 days of the week: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Umkwanazi, General Umkwanazi, as Paul O'Sullivan likes to call him, Lord of Gotham City, Savior of the people. I don't know why Paul O'Sullivan came up with that, but when he said that, that to me was petty. That to me is this is personal. That to me screamed, oh my goodness, Paul O'Sullivan, are you jealous? Speaking of jealousy, I did a video um, on Mzansi Unfiltered, and the video was about the perception of how the general spoke about Shadrach Sevilla on the day when he was referring to him being working for the city of Joburg. Okay, shout out to the city of Joburg. Those are the real MVPs. Whoever wrote that letter on the 20th of June, 2022, saying, "Don't do it, don't do it." That's what the message basically was. And the then police minister, the man in the hat, the man who can call another man for 18 times. Imagine that. A minister, not his PA. No, no, no. The minister himself, Begitele, at the time. Probably he was still wearing a hat making the phone call. And he said, try to call Kat Matlala. Like, imagine a police minister having direct access to a whole Guluru, to a whole Kat Matlala. And then you ask yourself, so why do we have detectives? Why should we have detectives when the police minister has direct contact to Kat Matlala? I mean, for me, that was just incredible. That is one word I would use to describe that moment. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? So, the first question I'm going to ask you guys as you come into the live, you know the house rules. Okay, take off your parabellums, hit the like button, take a seat and strap your tactical boots on. Famous words of Umkwanazi. Do you know, like, quoting Umkwanazi is like an extreme sport now. It's like once you think, okay, I've mastered something, he comes back, yeah, it's been 48 hours speaking English. Like, he has so much that he said, that he dropped, that I absolutely love. I'm looking for my screenshot so I can share with you about um jealousy. Okay. I want to address the jealousy comment so that we can put it to peace, put it to rest, and make sure that everybody is good to go. So give me a second. Let me find it because it's trying to hide. It's trying to hide from me. And I want to read it word for word because I believe the commenter, it's two people who commented, they did a phenomenal job in informing us, members of the public jury, just exactly how promotions happen and why Umkhonaze is very much accurate to say, what did he do that was so over the top? That was absolutely exceptional. And then what did he do? You know what? I'm trying to search for this. Here we go. Here's one of the comments. Here we go. Okay, so this comment says, no, I disagree. And it's okay, guys, to disagree with me. We don't have to always agree. but it's how you disagree. Do you understand? If you disagree with me and I see that you're disagreeing respectfully, I'm good to go. I will accept feedback. So this is the first comment that I saw. It says, "No, I disagree. General Umkhwanazi is correct. General Sivia should have been serving a probation on a new vacancy." And I was like, "Yeah, man, you're so right." And thus not eligible for accelerated promotion. Do you want me to read it again? Sure, I'll read it again anyway. No, I disagree. General Umkhwanazi is correct. General Sevilla should have been serving a probation on a new vacancy and thus not eligible for accelerated promotion. It would be interesting to see the memo which was approved to enable this promotion. You see when you have commenters, people inside Parati, the family who are subscribed, of course, and they understand corporate. Okay, they work inside Parati within the corporate. They're able to say things better. Me on the streets, I said, when I heard the general, and it's not that I said he was jealous of Shadrach Sivia, point of order, comrades. I said to someone on the outside, it would seem like Umkwanazi sounds jealous. He's jealous, and you guys see it in corporate. The new girl comes in, she suddenly has the corner office, and then next thing she's the VP of what. You see it. We see it all the time. So I'm just saying, and then people form their perceptions. But that's why there's a structure when it comes to promotions. In this case, show me the paperwork. Where is the paperwork? So I feel inside Parati within the Madlanga Commission, Umkwanazi should have like that point did not land. He did not land that point well, in my opinion, because he sounded like a jealous coworker. If you really listen to it, and we don't want you and I, okay, members of the public jury, we don't want there to be there to be a way out. His testimony had to be tight. It had to be as tight as when he puts on those tactical boots to ensure when it is time to run, that boot is not staying behind. It needed to be tight so that nobody can poke holes in it. There is no side entrance, there's no back door. It is tight. You cannot argue with facts. So had he said, you see inside Pagati within the South African Police Services, when you return to the job, okay, no, not return, when you are in a position, you are on probation for a 18-month period, 6-month period, 3-month period. He needed to lay down the facts so that the three commissioners understood exactly how promotions happen within. We know there's tekategging in the promotion world over there because what? The BMW cleaner came from the BMW and skyrocketed herself. For that one, I have to agree with Paul O'Sullivan. Okay, I'm going to stand with Paul O'Sullivan because I saw people in the comment section during the time when I did those videos who actually have worked inside SAPs as constables, warrant officers. They came to the comment section and they told me how it feels like having worked in your position, having never been elevated for over 30 years. Almost one person said, "I'm about to retire." And this girl comes in and is now my boss. She's now higher ranked, but she cannot even do any of the salutes or anything. Does she even have parabellums? I don't know. Okay. She's never worn a uniform except now. Okay. Because the court said you're not going back inside Parati within um, the crime scene, and the crime scene being the crime intelligence officers. Um, I haven't done a deep dive video on what Umkwanazi said with regards to what's going on. So I'm going to do that. So I know I've seen a couple of people ask for that video. Guys, you have to understand something. Umkwanazi overwhelmed the system, okay? There's a lot to break down. I still want to do a Vusi Matlala video. I have a Brown Mohotsi video I have to do. And then I also have to go over there to the DA, and then and. You understand? It's a lot. So please bear with me. But while you're bearing with me, can I ask, have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Because, we're going for the big girl look, okay? We are headed over there to the 70,000 subscribers. And let me tell you something. GNU Unfiltered is showing off and showing out because just this week we had we got 7,000 subscribers, and that was just exciting. Okay, that was just so exciting, because it's like, wait, this is my backup channel. Look at my backup channel just growing up and doing the most, and then jiggy jiggy, the backup channel is now on the road to 8,000 subscribers. Like, what do you mean? That's just like, I think 2 days ago, 3 days ago, we were literally saying, "Hey, I made it 7,000." I didn't even get to say thank you for 7,000 subscribers. And then boom, we're hitting 7,000 in a few minutes. So thank you so much for all the support. So on Mzansi Unfiltered, we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. I can't even believe I'm saying that. But I have to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, what's going on with my screen? Why is my screen looking so barren? Why does it look like it's been robbed? Like there's some kind of self gratification. That's another thing about Umkwanazi. He's elevated our English. Did you guys notice? Our English has Englished. There we go. We've got the general on the screen, okay? A man of his words. A man, and listen, I believe he chooses his words. I believe every single word he said, he's very, very strategic. He knows when to pull the attention. He knows if he says, he's very strategic, okay? It's just like content creation. You just know, okay, I gotta hook them in. And after I've hooked them in, I gotta tell my story. And I have to make sure that they understand what's going on. And at the end, I'm just gonna say, you guys pay my salary. Woo! Who's gonna fight with that? Who is going to fight with that? It's like, oh my God, did he really? Like, he touched my soul. He might as well have just touched our soul. There's a comment thread that's going on. Um, Summarizing it, someone said, all women are now crushing on Kwanazi. And I was like, I don't know why there is a tendency to, I want to say, sexualize um, something Kwanazi. I find that quite, it's unnecessary right now. These are quite serious. This is serious business going on. So there's no time for crashing out. And it's unreasonable to say all South African women. First of all, yeah, I also think it's inappropriate because we're in a professional setting, guys. Like he said, okay, strap your tactical boots on. So there's no time for that. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Have we run out of things to say? But I also want to read you the second comment. Like I said, we've got corporate people inside Pagati within our comment section. And this second comment, let me find it. I get a lot of comments, so bear with me as I do the search of the searchings. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. And then, of course, there's the people who just want to fight. There's the people who just want to fight because you said something against Mkhwanazi. No, guys, we have to be analytical. It doesn't mean if I said he sounds jealous that I think everything he said is wrong. It doesn't mean that. So we have to always be open-minded. That's my only request. Um, where is that comment? I want to read this comment. Remember, I said that another comment was kind of sexualizing the general, which I found kind of inappropriate. But then there's this comment. It says, and I read word for word, that man has displayed all the great qualities, that is, commitment, ethical, visionary, strategic, analytical, loyal, intelligence, brilliant, calmness, bravery, authority, command, institutional memory, diligence, respect, and dignity. He is smart in the true sense. And I loved this comment. I was like, you know what? You're going to look for all the verbs. All the verbs. Wow, wow, wow. English. We've only been speaking English for 15 minutes, and just like that, I said verbs? What the hell is that? Anyway, so all you can go look for all the verbs, all the adjectives, and such words to describe the general. And I don't think we can run out because what he did has actually never been seen before. Never, never, never been seen before. So I want to really find this comment, guys. Just to tidy up our comment on the general and how promotions work. And this comment is hiding from me. I like to, when I quote someone, I always like to quote them as they have typed it out because I like to think you guys are also invested when you comment, especially, when you abbreviate, you make a form a full sentence, and I don't have to read it 6 times before I understand what you're trying to say. So I also appreciate that. So, um, I always like to read a comment as I saw it instead of paraphrasing. Um, because as you know, you can never misquote silence. But in a comment, I can actually read it as it is and it becomes, on the record. So, you know what? Let me talk amongst yourselves, okay? Talk amongst yourselves in the comment section. Let me find this comment. It's going to take me like a minute, and I think I need my brain to be silent so that I find it because it's really good. It was a very good explanation. Hmm. The comment is just hiding. Maybe it's this one. Da, 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 da. Maybe I didn't save it. That would be awful if I didn't save it. Mm, mm. I'm going to have to paraphrase, unfortunately. Okay. So basically, the comment said, I can't find it, guys. And I feel so awful. Okay. So basically, the comment said, when someone is being promoted, there's a whole point system. That's why I needed to read it. Okay. There's a whole point system that is involved. Actually, I think if I type the word promotion, the comment will come up. I am so sorry. Okay. I'm digressing, but I really want to quote this comment because I've referred a lot of people to it. Um, so that we are all on the same page of how the general could have improved on his delivery with regards to Shadrach Severe and the letter from the city. Mr. Mlando, whoever you are, stand up and take your flowers. Because what do you mean? You sent Begitele a whole letter telling him, don't do it. Don't do it. We're still trying to understand the 3.5 million self gratification. Listen, the word self gratification for me is the highlight, okay? It is the absolute highlight for me. Okay, so I'm going to say responded, and then I'm going to say search. Maybe I didn't respond. Promotion. Promotion. I'm trying to search for that comment. Da 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 da. Ha. There we go. Okay. Gotta thank modern technology. I found it. So this person, this comment says, in terms of exceptionally, I'd like to make reference to the process of PMDS. I don't know what that is. Especially in some government departments where one is rated accordingly to his or her performance. In some departments, you may not be rated more than a 4 and 5. It needs evidence, okay? It means your superior needs to provide evidence of what you did. Did you go to the Hennep's River? When you were at the Hennep's River, did you find the bodies? Did you then figure out the car? What did you do that was exceptional? Did you open and close a case within 3 minutes? What did you do? Because as far as the nation is concerned, you have 121 dockets on your desk, and then now we know you buy spyware and you're always in the spyware department. What are you trying to listen to without people knowing? Anyway, so the comment continues to say, in some departments, you may not be rated more than a 4 and a 5, and it needs evidence that one went beyond his or her SOP and actually qualifies him or her of a promotion of remuneration. So that is where that exceptional came from. I'm subject to correction though. Guys, you must always be comfortable to speak in the comment section with your chest, okay? Because I always find like sometimes people are apologetic when they are disagreeing with me, but we all learn. And for me, I learned from those two comments. Those two comments for me, they sealed the deal for me. So imagine if Umkhwanazi sat there in his suit, okay, and his parabellums inside the court, tied his tie, and he's sitting there and he's staring down Advocate Selo, the evidence leader, and he's saying to her, well, I have a letter. The letter is dated the 20th of June, 2020. It's from the city of Joburg, and it was sent to Begicele, okay? And Begicele obviously didn't action the letter, but let me read the contents of the letter into the record. The problem is Miss Seller likes to interrupt him, but okay, we keep going. And then he will say, this is what the letter said. And that's where we find out there's 3.5 million of self gratification that Sibia took for himself or is alleged to have taken for himself because, you know, they didn't get to run an investigation because he left the building. What you gonna do? He's not an employer there anymore. And then that was a result of about corruption and fraud for about 580 million rands. Okay. And then, and then what happened is that then the letter says it's not a good idea. Okay. It's not a good idea for you to take this man and give him. My understanding is that he's going to be in a very influential position. I just want to bring to your urgent attention, Begitsele, if you could just take that hat off for 2 seconds and then just kind of understand that this is what he did over here at the city of Joburg. He has no business being part of SAPS, especially in the position that you want to put him in. But I felt it was my civic duty to inform you. I don't know if he broke any kind of disclosures about that, disclosing this to Begitsele. I don't know. Those are for the legal labor laws people to tell us. But the fact of the matter is, the man in the hat was told. And the man in the hat, I assume, just took the letter, shredded it, and went about his day. Okay. And then he said, come on through, Shadrach Sevilla, come on through. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're just gonna make you, you're just gonna be a lieutenant general. Yep, because before you were major general, but you know what? Let's just do the elevations. There we go. Major general. That looks nice and cute. And then from major, no, not major general, lieutenant general. And then from lieutenant general, he then went ahead and said, yeah. In a year, he was then promoted, okay, to deputy national commissioner. And then if he had said word for word, exactly like the comments I just read to you, it wouldn't have felt personal. That's been a mouthful. I hope that makes sense. But to our two commenters, I just want to say thank you so much for bringing us into your confidence and walking us through corporate, okay, corporate Mzansi. Now, on the topic, let me look through the comments. You know what? Tembeni Mahlangu, I saw you, okay? You were first in here, waiting in line and saying, I'm inside Pagati within, even before the live. And I say, thank you. Thank you so much. We also have Unanhlanhla. She says, I'm here inside Pagati within Mzansi Unfiltered. Welcome, welcome. I see you. And then we also have a couple of ones. So the sound was good. I appreciate that. You are inside Pagati within. You caught me live today. Owe to Molweni. I'm inside Pagati from. I'm going to not say it, okay? Because my Q's and my X's, they run away, okay? They run away with my tongue. And I don't want to be quoted, okay? Because you can never misquote silence. And patience says, hi, Siswami. Yizanazo. Okay. Thank you so much. Isaiah says, hello. We've got Tembeni finally. Okay, it says, good to hear your voice. Of course, the voice behind the mic. I am here. I am here for you. Patience Umkhwanazi is our Abraham. Yes. But I think not. I think he's a one of a kind, if I could say so. There's another comment that went on about his mom. Okay, I won't even read that one to you, but I also thought that was quite interesting that, yeah, you can tell his background, his upbringing is all translating into who he is and who we saw for the last 3 days. Nanhlanhla says, I watched the live broadcast of the commission, but it's not enough until boo, 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 boo. That's right. That's right. Okay. I watch the broadcast live too. And sometimes I will know when I'm watching the broadcast, I'll be like, oh, I'm going to do the video about the water bottle. Oh, I already have a list. I know how I'm going to do my videos, right? So I'm going to do the water bottle video. Like, why is a man walking up to the general? Why is he walking up to him? Why is he trying to, shake his hand? What are you doing, sir? And then it's the analysis of why is his water? He has his own water. He doesn't drink the one that's provided. Boo, 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 boo. And just the tiny little things. Because at the end of the day, this is an entertainment channel. Okay, we do everything for entertainment and educational purposes, without fear or favor. But at the end of the day, those are the kind of things that I like to highlight. I like to point out. Take the seriousness out of everything. Otherwise, you guys will all have like high BP levels, because that was a lot. That was a lot to process. So thank you for that. I am here at your service. And then when I'm doing my edits, knowing what I'm going to do, sometimes I have to change because it's listening to something from the live a second time. You're like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's not what I understood then. So I have fun with it, and I have fun when you guys most especially react to it, watch the videos, share the videos, like the videos. Did you like this video? That's the $1 million question, because you know what? Did you like this video? Let's just take a moment to pause to figure out, did you like this video today? Because it's an essential service, guys. Um, for myself as a content creator, helps to keep the lights on. It tells um it tells YouTube that, hey, we're live. Okay, we are live. 83 people in the room. And did you like the video? Those are just some of the things I want to know. Okay. So I'm not going to ask you to go and ask your mother to like the video. It's you who's here inside. So please like the video. Tembeni says, well, let's change. Is that not the MK party woman? She ended up being sued by, Floyd. Where is Floyd? He took the MK lady, I can't even remember her name right now. He took her to court because she said a phrase when she was live that you must beat the dog, okay? Beat the dog until the owner comes out. And he was quite offended. Quite offended. Hello, hello, hello. We have our channel member in the house. Boo, 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 boo. Channel members, thank you so much for sponsoring the channel. Absolutely appreciate you. All protocol observed. Hello, hello, David. I am inside with my like just the way I love it, and I appreciate you. I got the GNU notification as well. So I had to go and like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I don't usually go live on GNU, but I thought today is a cool day for me to do that, just so that people can see that, yeah, it's me. It is I. I am inside Parati. I scream. Why am I screaming? Oh my goodness. What? What do you mean? Whoa. Speaking of GNU, what do you mean? We just hit a good, beautiful 8,000 subscribers. Boo, 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 boo. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I'm to find the other people who are not subscribing, because why are you watching and not subscribe? If you're watching for the first time and you're trying so hard to type a comment and you're asking yourself, why can't I type a comment? It's because commenting is reserved strictly, and I repeat, strictly. It's reserved strictly for channel subscribers. So if you want to comment, join the family, take a seat, join the conversation, you have to hit that subscription button. I promise you, subscribing is absolutely free. and you only have to do it. It's a once in a lifetime event. You don't have to do it again. So please consider subscribing to the channel. It brings joy to my heart when you join in. And then let's see the next comment. We are inside. I'm supposed to have a guest. Let me check in on my guest. Let me just check in if we will have a guest appearance because I haven't seen them in the comments yet. 1 second, okay? Possibly could be a surprise for you guys. Let me just ask my guests if they're still coming. Okay, so, and if you're already in the comment section, make sure you jump up and down, okay, so I can see you. Oh, sometimes I laugh at myself. Okay, can you see it says we're inside Phakathi within Mkulukutus. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. First rule of the house is to hit that like button. Okay, hit the like button, then you subscribe if you're not subscribed, and then you take several seats. Several seats. What is going on, Dan? Wait, let me see your emoji. Because one thing about Dan, I don't know what the emojis. Wait, let me check on my other screen. I don't know what that emoji means. Nelson, why are you deleting your comments? What did you type? What did you say that was not so nice? Dan deleted the comment. Thank you, Dan. But wait, now I'm nosy. I didn't see the comment. But thank you for taking care of business. Wait, Nelson. Nelson, is that who? Okay, besides, we don't know who Nelson is. Okay, we've never seen Nelson. Hi, Nelson. How are you doing? You see, Dan is here. Okay, he's inside pad. Did he give you a red card? Because if he gave you a red card, you can also do timeout, Dan. I think there's like a timeout option. You also have a timeout option. You can put them in timeout. Okay, sit in the naughty corner. And then it's when you get to the never talk to me corner, that's when you get in big trouble. Okay, if I put you in the jailbird section, Khosi Mampuru, section C Max, it means you and I, we will never interact ever. I'll also never see your comment again. It's like toodles. Because unlike Khosi Mampuru, I do not have parole, probation. I have none of those. Once you go to my jailbird section, you're out for the count. Bye. And then we have that is so interesting. Huh. And I don't think I've ever seen Dan delete a comment. So that's pretty interesting. Thank you. So inside Phakathi within. Boo 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 boo. But Msiva, hello. Definitely a new commenter. But you are being ingenious about jealousy. Ooh. Wait, let me read this. I'm being ingenious. Is it not disingenuous? Is that not the word? It's not ingenious. It's actually disingenuous. But you know what? We're not here for the English lesson. Let's continue. But you're being ingenious. Okay, I can't get over the word. You're being ingenious about jealous Sivia was charged for being corrupt and Joburg knew about it. Okay. Take a moment, retype your comment, because I don't know what you're saying. I tried, okay? I tried. Um, and especially since you're labeling me disingenuous, please do go ahead and make your point across clear. I'm inside Phakathi. What? We are stupid. What? Are you? I never said that. I. You see, I always say I don't mind being quoted. That's why you'll never see me deleting a video. My videos are all there. I never, ever, ever at any moment said South Africans are stupid. Like, when did I say that? You're going to have to quote the video and you're going to have to quote the minute. And then we're going to listen to me and then I'm going to apologize to South Africans because what is wrong? You see, sometimes, okay, there's a saying. It says when you point your finger at somebody, the other four are pointing right back at you. Okay. I never said that. But if that's what you are saying about South Africans, that's okay, because that's your opinion. Stand with your chest. Say it out loud, say it proud. But I never said that. I never said that, which is why I even said, guys, I want to read the comments word for word. Did you guys hear me say I want to read the comments word for word? Go ahead and type a two, okay, in the comment section. If you saw me search and search and search for the two comments and find the two comments and read them to you word for word, because I wanted to put to bed the jealousy perception, that I wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. At no point did I say, oh my God, you guys are so dumb. I cannot even believe you didn't even catch my point the first time around. Like, Msiba, what is wrong with you? Why would you do that? Why would you say I said South Africans are stupid? I never said that. I absolutely would never say that. Why would I say that? But why do you feel the need to say that? You see, you can never misquote silence. But now we're just going to have to quote you. Why would you say I said that? I'm so offended. I don't mind being quoted. I don't mind disagreements. I really don't. That's why before I saw this comment, I said, please type this again so that I know what you're trying to say. Because the English here, it didn't pop. Okay. It didn't pop. It didn't come through. It's tagging. I didn't know what you were saying. And I think I was very, very polite about it at that moment. Now that I've seen your true intentions, your true colors, oh, now I'm going out. All gloves are off. Okay, there's no white glove service right here. Okay, it's checked out of the building. No concierge. I never said that. I never said that. So don't say I said that when I never said that, unless you can prove it. Like I said, quote the video, put the minutes. I'll play it right here. I'll beam myself and have everybody listen to me call South Africans stupid, and then I'll apologize. But I'm not apologizing for something I never said. I'm not apologizing for your assumption of what I said. I read two comments from two people that are still on the video. I'll even put them in my community tab. I'll even put them on Facebook so you can read them word for word. Maybe when I read them, you didn't hear what I said. Maybe, it flew over your head. But to be such a distraction and say I said that South Africans are stupid, shame on you. Shame on you. I would never say that ever. That is not my MO. That is not how I operate. And my mom taught me better. Why would I say that? I'm trying to take this comment out, but it's glitching. Hold on, guys. There we go. Show me the money. Show me where I said that. I never said that. If you said that, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. Sad. But anyway. And don't put him in timeout, Dan. I want him to respond. Tembeni. There we go. Tembeni says he became energetic, fully charged, and to the point towards the end. And he could have continued. Well, yes, I saw a lot of comments of people saying, wait, what? What do you mean you're done? Like, we had your full attention. For me, it was the moment when he said, I'm doing this for the safety of our children and the citizens of South Africa. Like for me, it was like mic drop, sir. You don't even need to convince me any further because you want to, of course, you want to know what the motive is. What's going on? What's going on at the back of his head? What's the struggles? And I think he really, really did a good job. Despite the fact that I said it could be perceived as jealousy, if you've ever worked in a leadership position, you would understand what I'm talking about. If you've never worked in a leadership position, people like Msiba will come in and think I'm saying people are stupid. I never said that. I said it was not airtight enough because those Madlangas over there, okay, the three commissioners, especially Kumalo, for me, I'm tagging with him where he stands, okay? But that's the thing. I am allowed to form my own opinion. You know what? There's an actual case law that I can cite. It's called Tabavesta and Netflix. Tabavesta versus Netflix. Yeah. The judge says, you know what? The public is entitled to form an opinion. You cannot control my opinion. We can discuss it, we can agree, we can disagree, and we can also move on. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Believe it. 100K. Here we come. I believe it. I really do. Before, I only ever wanted, if I must confess, I only ever wanted to have 1,000 subscribers. That's all. I was gonna be so happy. I definitely was. Because 1,000 subscribers allows you into the YouTube Partner Program and you can monetize your videos and you can get paid. You see, I'm talking right here on the live and I'm gonna be paid for the live, FYI. But at the end of the day, I've grown a community. I've had some friends. You guys DM me. You guys make me laugh in the comments. This is not exactly what I would have predicted, but I absolutely love it. And now, yeah, let's go for 100K. It's for the aesthetics. But after 1,000 subscribers, it doesn't really matter. Nobody tells you that, but it doesn't really matter. Because whether you have 1,000 subscribers, 500,000 subscribers, 100,000, or even a million plus, all of us, myself and our colleagues, as long as you have 1,000 subscribers, you're in the partner program. And you see, the YouTube boss it doesn't even play any games. Okay, it doesn't need to have a promotion sliding scale. There's no promotions. It's, did you post a video and did people watch it? They did? Perfect. I'll pay you on the 21st. When is the 21st, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, it was yesterday. Boo, 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 boo. Shout out to all the YouTube paychecks that are coming out tomorrow morning. Okay. But you know what? I don't want to talk about that. Let's continue on. Um, Tembeni says, true. His words were well chosen. Very. I think like he chose every single word. So it was very hilarious when he says, "You guys are just gonna have to forgive me. I've been speaking English for 48 hours, and man, I'm just a Zulu guy. Okay, I'm just a Zulu. I'm just a Zulu." That was hilarious, and that is him, kind of like putting a change in the tone of the room. So he what's going on? What is going on? Is someone trying to hack my computer? Stop it. We're live. um, Dan says, who is waiting for the dance case in Senior Meyiwa? Huh? I don't know what you're saying. Who is waiting for the dance case? Retype, please. Is the general single asking for a friend? No, okay? He is not. Focus. And I say that because actually I didn't know. I didn't know either. But somebody actually put it in the comment section and said, actually I do have the comment. Let me put it up because I thought it was hilarious. Comment section is fun, guys. You should come on over. I know I have my shy gang. Just drop a heart once in a while, okay? So I know. And I do a heartbeat check and see, okay, you're fine, you're good. Because there's also someone who's been missing and I miss them so much. But I have no way. This is like a one-way traffic. I have no way of coming to find you and say, "Hey, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in the comments. I hope everything is okay. I hope your family's okay. I hope you're doing good." I do think about you guys. So there's one person who hasn't commented in a while and I wonder if all is well. And I have no way of finding out, which is quite devastating. But if you know yourself, please do come to my DMs over there on Facebook and TikTok, I think, and Instagram. Please let me know you're fine. Um, and I can't even say who you are because then everybody, but I know who you are. I know who you are. You're a channel member. Okay. You know what? Maybe I can put a message in the channel memberships and just check in. Um, where is that comment? So the person is reacting to this comment that says, the general is absolutely even more handsome when he laughs. He makes me smile. When he laughs, he's just so cute. Okay, that was the comment, and I obviously take it if this was just a playful comment. But sometimes people do catch feelings. People sometimes catch feelings in the comment section, which is always something funny. And then in that comment, that's where someone said, "No, he's married, guys, and he's got kids." So all protocol observed, Mr. Mkhwanazi. We observe all protocol. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. He's not single. Why is he not wearing a wedding ring? Because it's all part of his tactical dun-dunnies, okay? He told you, now he's got to tell you about the boots because he's been asked directly in the commission, but there's all these things. Well, imagine like if he's kidnapped, right? The first thing, the wedding ring gives away, there's family. Let's go find them, if you know what I mean. Not giving anybody any ideas, but that's basically it. What else? What else can I disclose from his body language? Because I also like to study his body language. And there was never a second where he was nervous. He was never, 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 never nervous. Never nervous. Um, Tembeni says, nope. He said he did ask his wife about. There you go. Okay, yes. And he also asked his wife about the Louis Vuitton bag. Paul O'Sullivan, can you stop? Actually, Paul O'Sullivan did tell us he's married in that rant of his. For the bags for their wives, because in that rant, he tells us that they were given Louis Vuitton bags by the police supplier when they went overseas, and then they came back, and then the bags were for their wives. And then he says he then goes off into an off ramp, and he talks about Fanny Masimola and how Fanny Masimola is very flexible, and he's very flexible in the office, and he's got multi. It's not me, okay? I know someone in the comment section is going to say I said. I didn't say this. I am quoting Paul O'Sullivan. He is the one who said this about Fanny Masimola. I do not have any of the evidence, okay? I don't know. Paul says he will bring it forward. He says he's got evidence of his flexibility. Paul, are you into OnlyFans? How do you have evidence of what Masimola is doing behind closed doors? What are you doing? Anyway, I digress. Thank you for that reminder. Nelson says, wait, South Africans, let me first of all read this comment internally because I think Nelson is the one who was terminated. Da, da, da. I don't understand. Oh, these are the comments that were deleted. Okay. I think anyway, moving on. It would be interesting to see the state's attitude toward tomorrow. It would be interesting to see the state's attitude tomorrow now that Mkhwanazi has highlighted so many things. Will we ever hear from Kininda ever again? Thank you for resetting. Okay, thank you for resetting the room. I realize we're literally 48 minutes into the conversation and I haven't talked about the Senzu Meyiwa trial, which is technically one of the reasons I'm live to find out what are we going to do tomorrow, guys? What are we going to do tomorrow? What are we going to do? Because, of course, we cannot split ourselves in half. What on earth are we going to do with ourselves? And I'm speaking for myself. Are we going to the Madlanga Commission? Or are we going to the Senzu Meyiwa trial? You see, the problem is both of them are like, okay, Madlanga Commission has a 30-minute head start. So I guess I can watch 30 minutes. And then after, like, who wants to miss the Madlanga Commission though? Let me do a poll. Hold the line. Hold the line. Talk amongst yourselves. Let me type, okay? Um da, 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 da. Will you watch Madlanga or Meyiwa tomorrow? Because it's a tough one, guys. I don't even know. Wait. No, it's a poll. It's not a. I picked the wrong option. I want it as a poll, not as a question. There we go. Will you watch the Malanga or Meyiwa tomorrow? Madlanga Commission Senzo Meyiwa case defense. Because technically it's the defense starting. Ooh! The defense is literally starting. Okay, I put up a poll. Please let me know. Let me know what you what you will do because I don't know yet. I don't have an answer yet for myself. Okay, so let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. A channel member has asked us a very very important question. Okay, and has commented and said, "Would it would be interesting to see the state's attitude towards the state's attitude tomorrow now that Mkhwanazi has highlighted so many things. Will we ever hear from Geninda ever again?" I pause to take it all in and say, the Senzu Meyiwa trial, which has been ongoing, state case, and done. Have you noticed the difference? Let's first of all talk of the differences of the two cases. When you're inside Parati within, okay, the Senzu Meyiwa trial, it feels like you're fighting for your life, you're fighting to breathe. Nothing that is said, even by the witnesses, makes sense, especially the long-standing witness, Keninda. You're just asking yourself, what do you mean? What is going on? It just feels so inconsistent and professional. The judge is yelling, pointing fingers. His judgment is not typed out. Everything is just overwhelming. And then there's that thing, the level of secrecy in that case. Did you see Mkhwanazi beam everything? Huh? Did you see how SABC then takes off their logo and says, you got to see the whole thing? Did you see the level of respect that we are afforded? And then you tell me Senzo Meyiwa went to visit his makwapeni, his baby mama at the spaza shop, and the evidence has to be sealed? Why? I'm not undermining who Senzo Meyiwa was, but he wasn't a top cop. Okay, he wasn't in secret service. He wasn't in crime intelligence. He wasn't underworld. He wasn't an informer. We don't even see any of the witnesses. There's one very VIP witness who, even during the inspection in loco, decided, I just want to put on my mask. I don't even want to show anyone anything. All you're going to see of me is my fingertips. And you're just going to confirm that I'm not a yellow bone. That's all. But to say who I am, you will never. Why? Why? Why is the Senzo Meyiwa trial afforded such nonsense, in my opinion, respectfully, all protocol observed? We don't see the evidence. We have to imagine everything. The only evidence that we ever saw, what is going on? The only evidence that we ever really saw was, what was it? The only evidence that we ever really saw, it was literally the firearm. And that's when the judge held it and the cameraman forgot to move the camera. And the few times when they're holding up the paper and then we see, but it's by chance. Or should I say it's by mistake? There's the one time when Baloyi was so upset. He was so profusely upset that SABC showed, I can't even remember who they showed. Was it Hos? It must have been Hos or Stein, one of the two. And first of all, SABC never showed him. He walked into the camera frame, okay? But Baloyi was so overheated, okay? He was overheating like an engine that moment happened. And the media personnel were given stern warnings. Let me tell you something. If I was inside Parati within that courtroom, um, I would 100% take photos of the witnesses. I would. I would also take photos of the evidence. Because if you've noticed, it's not like they're not allowed to have their phones in there. They're literally there holding their phones up, recording. Can you please share that with us, members of the public? We want to see the witnesses. I don't understand, unless you guys know. I stand corrected to be corrected. Why on earth they are hidden? Then we have the Madlanga Commission. Okay, everything. Beam it. Okay, commissioners, can you turn to paragraph? Da, 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 da? Yeah. Okay, no, we're just trying to beam it. Okay, no, let's take a break because Kwanazi didn't provide 3 screenshots. Can you go provide commissioners? I apologize. I forgot. I still owe you one more screenshot from Brown Mohote because you guys have to read it word for word because I don't want you walking around saying I said, she said, he said. There's no evidence. No, no, no. I want you to see it for yourself. I want you to see it for yourself. What is going on? Someone is trying to take over my mouse. What are you doing? All right, let me watch this. You know what? Let me record it so you guys see them good business that's going on here. What are you doing? Like my mouse is not even in my hand. Okay, let me record from this screen. I see you. Do you see me? Wow. See? Now you're trying to go to my other tabs. What is going on? Okay, I want you to see the mouse is right there. The mouse is right there. I'm not touching it. But the screen is moving. This is insanity. But anyway, they're just trying to distract us. Um, let me see. See, okay, I can still move comments. Okay, perfect. Tembeni says, so much of the originality exposed. Liked your flowchart. You saw my flowchart. See, we're learning from the general, okay? The general said we talk in flowcharts, okay? We gotta connect the dots because if we just talk and talk and talk, then someone's gonna come and said, I said South Africans are stupid. But if I draw a flowchart, no one's gonna make that misconception because we're all watching the document. Thanks for that. And then we have Kate. She says, I'm happy I am in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And then the next comment says, this one always looks like this. What are we talking about? I don't know what we're talking about. Zodwa says, his name is Fusiso. South Africa, this name means lots to us. This man is our blessing. Agreed. I also loved hearing that his name was Usbusiso. His name is Nhlanhla Sbusiso Mkhwanazi, which means a lucky gift, which means we're lucky to have the gift in my interpretation. JJ's in the building with the general. This is irritating. Leave my mouse alone. Okay. With the general, with General Mkwanazi's revelations, will Judge Retta start behaving like any other? Oh my goodness. No. With General Mkwanazi's revelations, will the Judge Retta start behaving like any other normal judge? Will he try to look like there is no longer siding with the state? Will he try to look like there is no longer siding with the state? The mainstream media is saying, no. Let me tell you about Judge Rata, and you guys can prove me wrong. 64% of you guys, of us, are going to watch the Senzu. Okay, fine. 64% are going to watch the Senzu Meyiwa trial. Okay, I see our guest is in the building. Hold the line, okay? Hold the line. Let me share. There we go. Stop playing with my mouse. I just need to copy the link. Can you allow me to copy my own link? Oh, guys, I know what the problem was. I'm so embarrassed. I was now building conspiracy theories. I know exactly why my mouse was playing all over the place. I'm so embarrassed. My charging cable was on my laptop. I don't know what that thing is. Mouse pad on the laptop, the built-in one. It was there. So I feel so dumb. Boo, 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 boo. I have put in the link in the channel. Okay. I've sent the link. Um Hello. How you doing? Guys, let me tell you something about what it's like to be a content creator and then, you know, people come through to your comment section and say, "Uh, what is going on? Can you please?" They don't even comment on what my video is about. No. Where is Jabs? Where is Patricia? And I have to go and send a search party and find and locate Jabs. Hi, everybody. Boo, 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 boo. Give Jabs a warm welcome. Apparently, you guys have missed him. Okay. You have missed him so much. I've had to summon him. Mr. Jabs, welcome back, guys. If you're excited to see Jabs, he's here. Okay. In the flash, camera on, everything. Don't drop a five. Okay. Drop a five for my efforts. I've located him. He's breathing. He's got his 10 fingers. So stop with the conspiracy theories. Okay. Hi, Jabs. How you doing?
Hi, sis, I'm good. And how are you and the family?
We are all well, thank you so much. How's the going? Why have you been
No,
missing?
no, I'm definitely not kidnapped by cat, so that one you can rest assured.
He's here, okay? He is here.
Mm,
Shout out to
mm.
Jabs. He is not kidnapped. You see, he's talking himself. It's not AI either, because I know conspiracy theorists.
No, definitely I'm not AI. It's me on a Sunday around 39 minutes. Yeah, no, I've actually been. It's the first time in 2 weeks now I'm making an online appearance. We've been
Right here,
morning
Mzansi
and
Unfiltered.
yes. So you're a special case.
Right here, okay? First time appearance, missing in action, but he comes back. He comes back, and I come bearing gifts. And I thought it was important. I thought it was essential because you were missing from the conversation. You've been, I would say, an essential service, especially when we want things broken down, explain some of the things, go deeper inside what, Mkwanazi is saying or breaking it down. I think you've been quite instrumental. So, the comment section was looking for you. And I said to myself, why are they looking for you here? Why are they looking for you here? Why don't you have your own home online on these streets? So please introduce your channel to the members of the public jury.
Yeah, no, the channel will be is news for sure. So I think most of the content will be uploaded today. Some of it. So if you're not subscribed, you're gonna miss out. And also, we can assure you probably later on this evening, I'll try to ramp on to go live on it just to talk about everything that I will have not had a chance to talk about today. But I can assure you, whoever is here is going to hear for the first time my response on General Mkhonazi, the expose, the something the thing that South Africa calls it as a shock. Well, I'm going to respond to that. I'm going to try and unpack it for you guys so that you can understand that he means business.
Unpack. Okay, open your suitcase. Unpack. Tell us, where do you want to
Well, I
start?
just keep
Let's start with the suits.
well, you will see.
Let's unpack,
Um,
unpack, unpack.
I've taken I've taken a journey at some point to actually unpack who are these two guys, because there are two generals there. The one is current, the other one is retired general, retired stroke minister of police. Um,
Which
so
one? Which one?
you
Which
must. It's General Tel.
one?
Why?
Oh.
Because this
You know
thing
what?
is
I'm not
centered.
used to him being referred to as general, but yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, no, yes, he is General Tel. So now you have General Mkhwanazi, and you have General Tel. You have what they call him, Uba Usbu. What's his first name? He said his what is Busisi Mkhwanazi.
Nhlanhla Sibusiso Umkhwanazi. Okay.
Yeah. And the other one is Begokuhle Hamilton Tel. Hmm.
Yes, yes, yes.
And let me tell you guys that
And Masemola
what-
also has another name too. I can't remember it right now, but yeah.
so now these two gentlemen, why I'm actually going to zoom in it, because us as family, we've known each other through the Senzu Meyiwa case, one way or another. Now,
Yes, yes,
these
yes.
two gentlemen, they've got history, or they've got at some point their childhood that revolves around the place of Pietermaritzburg area. We know that Mkhwanazi has told us that he was born at Etindeli Hospital in Pietermaritzburg. And we know that General Cele was born somewhere in Umzumbe Mission. But for some odd reason, there's something that is strange. There is a place called Ashdown in Pietermaritzburg. And on another side, there's a place called Matsibisa. And they are divided by a river called Umsunduzi River. Now, this is important because people are making comment on the discussion, on the phrase that he said. He said, as a Zulu man, he faced the problem straight. It doesn't go around. We're going into then. We're going to understand. And that is very
Yeah.
synonymous with when you are a Zulu male or a Zulu boy or a Zulu man facing a challenge head on. It's what is synonymous with the process of Ishaga Ilembe when they're talking about the horn attack. If there's a dispute
Mhm.
between families, they don't first gossip about each other. They just go and becoming bloody and a mess. Basic. That's what happened when you face things head on. It becomes bloody and mess. Now, South African and the Mzansi Unfiltered family is that we're now getting to be introduced to a situation where a person that they both grow up in these two township for some odd reason. But then now, what they both experience is the brutality of the apartheid, how both townships that were faced by um, political uh, or political hula baloo, they were in what you'll call a Bermuda Triangle, where they were
Mm.
inside Pagati. They didn't see a direction. But when Mkhwanazi rose up, he said, if I become a police, I will clean up things. I will stand for my people. Now, we had little when General Cele was involved in terms of his role around Matsibit, the other side of the river. But what Mkhwanazi, when he started to talk, Mkhwanazi talks about, because he's not after drug cartel. No, he's not after that family. Mkhwanazi is trying to deal with a situation that they faced on. In KZN, there is a gang which is called, I think, Westlink around Inanda area. For some odd reason, it
Mhm.
became very notorious in the area and started terrorizing the community. Now, it says that these are young kids. They can't be as police officers shooting these kids, but they have no choice because these kids are shooting
Mm.
each other. I think you've also covered one of the
Yes.
stories where this child is. You've actually covered that in detail. But Mkhwanazi starts from there. It starts from that part where what gives these kids this eager, this energy to do something that is so gruesome, so brutal, and don't have what we call unembeza or guilty conscience. He says they then realize that these kids are consuming substance. When they're following up the issue of substance, it leads
Mm,
him to his colleagues, the other police officers. When he goes further to that, then it leads him to the port of Durban. When he follows that, then it leads him to
mm,
Gauteng. Do you understand?
mm,
That's where it starts.
mm. You're
So
tying this
now,
up. Let me interrupt you for a second because while you talk about this, it reminds me, Advocate Therefore, did he not say this on podcast and chill? And everyone
it,
dismissed him. Is this the same scenario or it was a different scenario?
in Gauteng, is it becomes a scenario in Gauteng.
Okay,
But
okay.
that's it. It's in Gauteng it becomes that. But because now, family, you have people that are saying, but he's a PC from KZN. Why does he have business with the national business? Do you understand?
Mm,
Now,
mm.
then comes the issue of the political testing. I just want to close up before we get to Joburg.
Okay.
We know as us,
You have our ears.
yes, we know from the Senzo Meyiwa case, there is our hero who made us understand what is happening in the Senzo Meyiwa case. We all remember who that is. It's Warrant Officer
Hmm, hmm.
Makubo. Warrant Officer Makubo, um, Warrant Officer Makubo, just 1 second, family.
No problem. And you know what?
One
While we wait
second,
for
one
Jabs,
second,
let's
yes.
give one Officer Makubo. Let's just give him a round of applause. We're about to head into the defense case. Mass, hi. Let's give you a chance while Jabs is offline. Go ahead. Greet the family. Are you there?
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. How have you been? It's been a long time.
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Can't complain.
What is your urgent feedback today? How is the mood?
The mood is good. Madlanga Commission.
Yes.
Look, I heard what the general have said, and everything that he pointed out. Uh, Advocate Defo once mentioned them. Things that
Right?
he said, we Defo highlighted them long time ago, and people said, no, 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 he's crazy. That's
I
why
think
they
packaging
even looked
matters
in.
though. I think, packaging matters. I think packaging matters. So he was easily dismissed because of delivery.
I don't think that was the case. Uh,
Come.
um, Remember when immediately after the 6th of July, after the press conference, uh,
Yes.
people, media came and tried to uh, distract us, try to tell us that Mokwanas is lying,
Hmm, hmm.
try to tell us that he's a man with Louis Vuitton and stuff like that.
Imagine
The
that.
same strategy that they used to advocate for, they locked him up and they started to say he's taking medication. So now we started to believe that no, this guy is crazy. And
Mm,
yes, packaging because he was too emotional about it. maybe that was the
Mm.
his
Emotional intelligence.
uh,
Okay.
if that was his weak point.
His weakness. Mm-hmm.
But uh, remember this guy, General Sevilla.
Yes,
He
the
said,
suspended one. Uh-huh.
yes, he said something like, this one, he should focus on his little corner in KZN. The main issue, the problem is
Ah,
he's coming out because we arrested his friend.
okay, pause right there.
That is
Pause
why,
right there. So
yes,
you have highlighted. Okay, so Shadrach Sevilla is placed on a leave of absence. He doesn't like being placed on a leave of absence. He immediately reacts to Criselda Lewis and says the general must stay in his tiny little corner of KZN. That was the
yes.
smoking gun. We never caught on. Jobs,
Then,
continue from there. We're in
then,
the tiny little corner of KZN. So Jabs was in the process of explaining the whole
okay, no
KZN
time. Okay,
Gauteng
now,
task force. So let's. So I wanted to introduce that point, tie it with what you've said. Take us from Shadrach
okay,
Sevilla back to the tiny little corner. Go for it.
Yes, no, he's on point. Mas is on point. I think also it's just the good mixed masala that is currently happening there. So what is
Synergy.
important then? Yes, yeah. What is important there is that already people actually misunderstood that in his little corner in KZN, they're trying to deal with something in a small township of Inand, this gang. Then now this is what they come across with. Now, what then remains a problem for General Mkhwanazi is that when they start to interview this kid, you'll hear him in his press briefing. He says, absent fathers played a role, and kids that are born in a
Mm,
polygamous a marriage, and then the father this, and then they left, and then kids have to find their ways around. Let me tell you, family, those are challenges. Those are day-to-day stories of Macebisa, Ashdown, Aluza, Dambuza. Those are stories of the townships around Pietermaritzburg.
mm,
If you remember, almost over 7 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, there was a taxi from Joburg that had owners that were coming to attend a funeral for the other person who was gunned down. And those people were actually gunned down. That quantum was sprayed with bullets, like in an excess of over 100. That place, family, it has the history of taxi violence. It has a history of brutality. Now, you see now that General Mkhwanazi may have seen that in his home area, Ashdown. Now, from the side, which is some of his origin, where General Cele comes from, which is Macebisa side, where both Ashdown and as well as Macebisa, some of them in the past, some was associated with IFP, some was associated to be part of ANC. But what remains strong there is that the amount of crime there. Doctors who are working at Eden Valley, they will tell you that the cars are hijacked there in daylight by people who are heartless. Now, this is what then takes Mkhwanazi to say, but these kids, what is it that drives them to this craziness? That's when now it leads them to a substance. Now, when they're dealing with the issue of the substance, now he knows that in case then again, because of these areas, historical political killings comes originally from ANC versus IFP. That's what political killing always around revolves around that. Then at some point there was something called a floor crossing. Floor crossing then introduced party to party killing for a full-time employment. Family people must understand that for you to become a councillor, you earn almost 50,000 rand per month. And the time that you become a councillor, you get to be appointed to be given a vehicle. Toyota will come to the council and advertise the bakkies for them. Then you get a scheme. You sign off the car, so then you get a bakkie. So some of those things become a full-time employment for them being politically affiliated. So now do you see that? So now floor crossing for people who didn't know was when you are an appointed member of IFP, you are sitting in parliament. Then all of a sudden you just like what EFF says. Then you just decide that now you're gonna move with your IFP seat and go and join EFF. Then EFF all of a sudden is gonna have 35 seats. Basically, that's what happened. So now that's what may have introduced the component now, what we call political killing, when members of the same party will actually kill each other in a view of getting closer into. Yes. Now now that people have the context, because you will not understand why then KZN now all of a sudden is at the center point. Why now KZN or general from KZN is causing this all hula balloon? It's because of that history. You must understand that in a context. So,
Which general?
political
General Mkhwanazi.
General Mkhwanazi. Yes.
Okay,
So
thank you.
now what he's been leading, this issue of these issues of political task killing. Now, he's leading it from the KZN side. You must understand, guys, that Mkhwanazi is not an investigator. He's only getting information that is getting a report that he may have received. Now, the information that Mkhwanazi says there is informed feedback. It's either a feedback from his team that is doing investigation. It's a feedback from crime intelligence committees. That's why then you will get information. You will keep on talking about Kumalo this, Kumalo that. Because it's information that he gets to be reported into him. Hence, he explained to the nation how the political task team fits into that. Family, let me tell you, I'm not here to condone whether political task team is a good or bad. It may have a lot of good things it may have done. It may also have some lot of bad things that it may have done. Do you understand? Now, you must understand that from his role, he's talking from a role of a feedback that he's received from his people. That's his team. Now, that's what I'm honestly wanted to actually express from how then the KZN stories and the KZN political task team finds itself in a center of South Africa or in a center of the Madlanga Commission. This is when now where few people, of which Mkhwanazi has tried to actually rectify that and saying people that have said the wrongs that were done by political task team, it's the same thing as with what was called Katomena's killing squad. The same thing that was also called Brixton murder and robbery. Family, to bring this thing closer. These are actors that you must understand, deal with. Now, yes, you can associate Mkhumalo with KZN political task team. Yes. Katomena, you can associate a General Poison with Katomena things from KZN. Come to Gauteng. Brixton, Meda, and Robert. Who are those people that work there? They've who worked at Brixton, Meda, and Robert. Kininda worked at Brixton, Meda, and Robert. All the police
Hmm?
officers that you see, yes, all the police officers that you see in a Senzu Meyiwa case have worked in Brixton, Meda, and Robert. You've also know that EMPD Ekuruleng had become instrumental in transporting certain um, being involved or being in collaboration with the police on certain things. We've also seen that in the in the Senzo Meyiwa case. Now, what Nkwanes is also saying that Ekoruleni chief has given a cat blue light. Now, do you see how this thing
Mm.
works? And what is also
Mm.
interesting about all of these task
Unpack
team that
it.
I've mentioned, a
Yes.
political task team, it's making noise now because the political person disbanded. A Katomena squad, it was also close politically because of the negativity around it. Meda, Brixton, Meda, and robbery was also close because there was a commission around it of the brutality of the police. Do you understand?
I'm
Now,
listening. I'm trying not to be like Advocate Sello who interrupted Mkhwanazi every sentence and she was annoying the hell out of me. So I have to take my own advice and sit still and listen to you unpack. Go on. Go on, Jabs.
yes. So now, you see, now we are now in Gauteng. In Gauteng, there's two things that currently is happening there. We have a Senzo Meyiwa case. We have all the cases of Babita. We have cases of the DJs. We have cases of Tobejan. We have Osage, the Blesser. We have all people who are moneyed in Gauteng.
There's a new one. There's a new one. You know what I find so interesting is how people are itching to reveal themselves. Okay. Now there's Calvin. He's out here giving interviews and saying, yes, yes, Vusi is my friend. Vusi is my friend. Why they love the word friend? Listen, if you were in any kind of situation, if a friend of mine was in any kind of situation, I'm not coming forward. I'm sorry. I don't know you. Okay.
Well, mentioning the friend issue, family in South African must remember Glenn Agliotti is my friend, finish and clear. Do you remember that phrase? Do you remember that
Yes.
phrase? Glenn Agliotti is my
Unpack it.
friend,
Unpack it.
finish and clear. That what a former, again, general, former national police commissioner, he also said to Glenn Agliotti that Glenn Agliotti was his friend, finish and clear. He went down with him. Now, his friend turned on him. Now, Now, coming back to the issue now that we're now in Gauteng.
I think
Ha-
I think that, and this is just my opinion, I don't have any evidence to back it up, but it's just from the way they come out of the woodworks. I think money exchanges hands and you feel obligated to come out and acknowledge your friend during these difficult times. But I digress. Go on.
No, that is true. That is true. In KZN, there's a slang that they says your boy, Pululu Gawena, basically. It's like your acquaintances. Because Indians will talk what we call fanagalo. So if they say, no, 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 that's my boy, that's my Pululu, that one, that's my bro, that's my Pululu. So Pululu Gawena. So that's why you always see a need that you know what you must authenticate. You must just say, comrade, aluta, continue. We're together. Amanda, do you understand? So that's what needs.
Okay.
That's why
Mm,
people find themselves. It's not honor because there is no honor amongst thieves. You see, the fact
thieves.
that
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, yes.
because Celebi owned up to Agliotti, but Agliotti turned on Celebi as a 204 witness.
Yeah.
Yes. Now,
So what you're
where,
predicting is they're coming. They're coming with 204 witnesses. There are more revelations to come.
yes, yes, because I can tell you what. I can tell you, like everybody now is making Sibia as a bad person. I'm gonna be saying things, positive things about Sibia. Not all is bad about Sibia. I don't have business with him. But let me tell you what, Sibia,
Don't have a dog in the
w- yes, no, family, they saw Sibia as relevant when it suited them. When the police wanted to, when the KZN was still in the corner there, when they all met up in Gauteng and National, they saw Sibia as being a force that brought them together. Let me tell you why. Once Sibia speaks about the Senzo Meyiwa case, when you
Mhm.
think family July 6 Mkhwanazi was a bomb, no, you have not seen anything. You have not seen anything.
Mm.
When now people are dragging Sibia about what is happening in the city of Johannesburg, believe you me, you have not seen anything if we were to drop all the investigation file about procurement and everything like that. So
Whoa.
all of these things, they center around who is like the best at that point in time. I tell you what, I'm not vouching for CBA. He's not my friend. I've never met him. But let me tell you,
Mhm.
it's because now CBA is like a Zoomer in this day, where people things like, you know, just to digress a bit, in the Bible, Second
Before you
Chronicles chapter
digress,
20. Mm,
before you digress, let's take this moment to take a commercial break, guys. Don't forget to follow Jabs, okay, on his upcoming channel. It's actually there, okay? I think I typed it already. News for sure. Make sure you write it down. News for sure, and it's not in the link in the Queen's language, okay? News, the digit, sure. S. You see, this is confusing, Jabs, but type it in the comment section so that people see it from yourself, and then they can screenshot it and then follow you after this live, subscribe to you after this live. I interrupted you because I think it's important to understand that, especially when some people come in to the conversation and they don't know where this started. I think it's important that Jabs, as he's about to digress into the severe situation, and you're thinking, whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you taking Team Severe here? There's no teams. Even for myself, I am not team Shadrach Severe must fall. No, Shadrach Severe, let me tell you something. He feeds me, okay? He pays the bills. And when I say that, he's highly entertaining, okay? He's highly entertaining, especially when he goes on his media tours. He gives me content, and I am going to take full advantage. I'm going to confess, I will take full advantage of what he says, because there can never be peace between a criminal and a police officer. I am a disciplined member of SAPS. Can you see? I get content from things that he says. But let's hear what Jabs has to say with regards to this. Go on.
yes. So when you look at this element of the Bible scriptures, Second Chronicles 20, it just says that even when people don't like each other, they will form an alliance because they only have one enemy in common. So that we've seen with Zuma, that we've seen with everybody, even after July 6th, we've seen people, O'Sullivan, teaming up against Mkhwanazi. Now we're seeing people, even what you'll see now as the court, that are teaming up against Sibia, basically, because it's hard. It's hard. So I am saying that now. That's what CBA is experiencing when even people that were in his corner, they now are quiet. Because you cannot say, or even though I'm reliably told that the city of Johannesburg matter was running at the background. They've always, I think perhaps maybe 3 Thursday back, he was supposed to be called at the mayor's committee for him to account on certain things. So I know that the city of Johannesburg have been in a process of getting questions for him. So Now, also, the 530 people can say, no, those could be audit finding. It could be things that he needs to answer them. So it doesn't mean that he literally stole the money. Basically, that's that. So when you hear politicians speak, ne, you must always be wary on those things. But then now let me tell you that when we are now in Johannesburg, we're now looking at all the negative things that are coming through against Sibiya. Now, we are also hearing that on July 6th, this is what Mkhwanazi said to the minister and Sibiya. But what we've then learned since then, a lot of people have come up and says they are friends with the general, they know general, and those people are quite shady people. Which then now it's a center point of Mkhwanazi. Mkhwanazi is like saying, hey, you can rather blame me for being friends with my colleagues, with Kumal. At least I'm friends with him because I'm thinking that he's a good cop. If it's bad, okay, let the court deal with him. Do you understand? But don't say that you are friends with a known a known person, basically, who has a problem, who's known to be unaliving people. Do you understand? Now, you can't have that person where else you are a police officer, you have a person that is actually being aligned with the dark world, basically. So that's a frustration
Exactly.
of Mkhwanazi. Yes, that's his frustration. So now, then CBI becomes hard because now there is intelligence information that was collected. Cell phone things, that is intelligent. That intelligence, who collected that intelligence? It's not in corners. It's crime intelligence and the investigators. Then it falls on his report. Now, also, what Mkhwanazi also address is that some of this information, he got it from General Khan.
The man of
He
the
said it
hour.
on, yeah, he said it there on the commission. And that is why Paul O'Sullivan was saying the fools from KZN, he got the metadata. No, let me tell you, family, this is what will have happened. General Khan was taken, which Mkhwanazi has explained in the commission. General Khan was attending a disciplinary hearing. When he was proving he's innocent, General Khan had to pull the files. Do you understand? Now, mind you, he's pulling the files. Mkhwanazi is got on his background. He's got a feedback from his own people that have told him about certain things. Now, he's sitting in this hearing, he's seeing all these files that are being pulled through. He looks at the feedback that he got from his own people, then he's joining the dot. He says, a shooting, we've got a report from the forensic laboratory. That's when now this thing from corners, he gets frustrated. He says, how is this thing possible? How can my team arrest a person and the magistrate close? I'm not sure whether Mkhwanazi actually did mention that Katie Molefe was denied bail by the magistrate. Do you know who gave Katie
He did.
Molefe bail in High Court? Family, do you want to
No.
know who gave Katie Molefe a bail in High Court? Is
We are all
Deputy
ears,
Justice,
Jux. What are you about
is,
to? Yes, yes,
is a
yes.
Deputy
He did
Judge
say.
President Litwab. Litwab. Did he
Yes,
say
yes.
that?
I
That
don't
it
know why.
was
Yes,
Litwaba that gave him
yes,
bail.
he did. Yes,
Now,
he did. He
think,
did. Yeah.
Litwaba is in the news when Tefu's problem. What does Tefu say his problem starts from? He says it starts from Litwaba.
We are listening.
Yes,
Don't
Tefu
judge.
says
Go
that.
ahead.
Yes, and then The very same magistrate in lower court have said the risk about KT Molefe says no. Now, this risk existed. How did Litwaba didn't see those risks as become a problem? Litwaba gave him bail. What happened also? Litwaba is the one that denied Ntanzi bail.
He looked the
That's why
other way.
Ntanzi is still behind bars for 5 years. Ntanzi,
You know what?
Litwaba
Wait. Let
denied.
me pause you there. I actually pondered this because I said, wait, people like Molefe and the likes are given bail, yet they are gulugutas of note, and there's overwhelming evidence. And then Danzi is alleged to, no bail for him, no bail at all. He should stop dreaming. But his case is he was found with ammunition, and the ammunition was not in his hands. But I digress. Go on.
Yes. So now do you see how this thing keeps on coming back? And what the Trata always tells us in court, says Litwaba is not happy
Listen. Yep.
about the case taking long. Litwaba is not
No,
happy
that's the
about the
thing.
defense lawyer delaying this thing, legal aid and everything, Litwaba this, Litwaba that. Now then do you
Okay.
see?
We're listening.
Do, do you see now how then now the January 6th when he says the justice system is also tainted? Now on the Senzo Meyiwa case, you heard him Kwanazi talked about Empangeni Kalagabosh. Senzo Meyiwa case, what do we
He
know?
surely
We know
did.
Kininda and Mohane goes in and out
Went
and collect
there.
the phone.
Yes.
And the phone from who? Common name again, Fisokuhle Ntuli. What did
Truly.
Mkwanazi speak about? Fisokuhle Ntuli.
Yeah, truly. Yes, he did. He did. We listened. For me,
Now,
it's just that, you know what? Yeah, it was. When he said it, I was like, "Ooh, that's a hot zone. That's a crime scene for other crimes." But okay, go on.
now, now, now,
Jabs,
do you see that?
Jabs, we know
If,
what
if,
you're doing there off camera. Continue. What are you sipping on? If you think we're not seeing you, we're seeing you. Feel comfortable.
yes.
Continue.
So, so, so now, Empangeni, we now know that Mkwanazi introduces two things. It's the minister's home ground, which he stays around Eskawini, basically. And then
Hmm.
he also talks about the Brown Mohotsi having an OB book, a page of an OB book of about an event. But this thing involves
Yes.
a correctional officer, a head of the prison in that area. Now, what do
Hmm.
we know about the head of the prison there? In the Senzo Meyiwa case, a head of the
Oh
prison
dear.
before that one retired was Yaga, Menier Yaga. Yaga has a history before he gets to Kalagabush. He was in Zonderwater. Zonderwater around 2014. He became prominent because he was the head of the security of the prison, where Paul O'Sullivan worked with him to bust a so-called fake plan to escape by Rona van Kruij. That's correctional services.
Wow.
I wanted to tell you, family, that
Um,
KZN is not just a corner. KZN is not just a little corner. It's part of the
No,
puzzle.
it's not.
Remember,
Yes, but it's all
whenever
part
staff
of let's
arrive,
undermine. But Shadrach Sibia just undermined it so that he can minimize it and make Umkwanazi look small. Unfortunately, when we now look at the English between the two, you can see that Umkhwanazi is heavily strapped in the English and he can carry himself, even though he will joke because he wants to be relatable. He then comes back and says, "Guys, I've been speaking English for 48 hours." He's just bringing himself down to the level so people can remain relatable with him. Whereas Shadrach Sibia, unfortunately, struggles. He's more emotionally charged, and then things come out like he should just stay in his tiny little corner of KZN. And automatically, for me, that just screams, KZN is not really a tiny little corner. Why are you saying that? It then highlights that there are problems. Continue.
Exactly. You see, some people can't swim. We've got a lot of water in KZN. So, 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 so now, because Mkwanazi touched on the judiciary, he touched on the correctional services. We've seen that thing. So Mkwanazi, the things he talks about correctional services, it's something that we know. We've experienced firsthand with the Senzu Meyiwa case where Danzi is not kept in prison, where all of a sudden when the court makes a judgment against the correctional services, you saw what happened. We see things that we've unheard of. The head of the prison, he doesn't file the appeal. He just goes to court and says, "I want to speak to the judge." How is that possible? Where is that done?
Mm,
And yet people don't see that. That is irregular. It is a problem to Mkonas. It is a problem to people that understand the processes. That now, if then now a court will make a decision, then somebody walks in there in High Court and say, "Can I speak to the judge about the decision he made?" No, it doesn't work that way. Ramsepele rightly told the judge, he says, "No, it's a decision yet is made by this court. So this court is not entitled to review its own decision." Do you understand?
wow,
So
wow, wow,
now,
wow, wow.
yes, it's what happened. That's what Kwanas is talking about correctional service and the judiciary. Because they so used to do this thing. They so used that they can just tell us in the open court that they were driving around in around with Danzi because they didn't want Danzi to be bored in the police cell. And it's accepted as normal. How? How? Now
Yeah.
people are becoming shocked. It's like with Mkwanazi's utterances. But then they've been saying every day, Rata's been quiet. Rata allowed Mukhane to change his story. Rata allowed Zungu to say he's been taking notes on the pieces of paper.
Huh?
It's the
Yeah.
judiciary, guys. It's a judiciary. What more do you want?
It really is.
Now, then you hear people saying, Kwanazi took the Louis Vuitton shoes. You know what? I'd rather do that.
Bag. You're changing the story.
You see what? I'll tell you what. I've always mind my own business, ne? But let me tell you what, watch the space, because I've worked at the airport. Paul O'Sullivan has a lot to talk about the airport. I've created the airport CCTV security system. I created it. So don't I did that. I I
I
did it.
gang stepping into the building. But I digress. Let's go.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm trying to tell you that if he thinks he knows, you see the nice thing about me, I had to go back with all the evidence and all the books he wrote, all the litigation and all what was happening in the acts at that time. I'll get some time and actually demystify some of the things that he's made you guys to believe that it's the truth. Actually, it's not the truth.
Mhm.
Because we can't sit down and we've allowed people to go on and talk things. And then what is bad, family, is that You'll rather remain poor and humble as we are than becoming so rich and then you end up blackmailing people for information.
Mm.
So, so now we will deal with that when the time comes, basically. So, but I wanted to tie this thing up, family, that Mkhwanazi mentioned the correctional services, which we know. He mentioned the issue of Kalagabosha, which we know in the Senzu Meyiwa case. He mentioned the issues of Jose Mabur, which we know in the Senzu Meyiwa case, things that happens that people just get to be placed in very funny places for no
Mm.
reason. Now, let's talk about
Mm.
the actors.
So are you insinuating that Pat did not have a cell phone, that it was planted? What's your thought on yeah, cat Matlala and
Yet,
the cell phone? Is that a real thing?
you see, remember I said there is no honor amongst thieves. I'm
Okay.
trying to join the dot. Why on this day when they're doing a raid? You see, listen to the story of the cell phone. A story of the cell phone, it's thrown in water. You can't, cell phone is electronics. That means the cell phone goes into what? Nobody, the police, will actually go and do that. It's a very detailed process to try and reconstruct that. How can you just tell us
Mm.
easily that a phone that was found in a toilet water, it was safe? I don't know. It becomes, the story becomes a bit murky. That is why, that is why um, Kate has chosen the new attorney, best criminal lawyer holders,
Mm.
because the reason for that is that the cell phone story, I don't trust correctional services. I think the cell phone story is a key for Kate to get an exit strategy. The whole the interviews that are mushrooming around and the new statements that are going there in court are the key for Kate to get a loophole. Let me tell you, Holders deals with evidence. Already,
Okay.
Holders said in a statement, there is information in the cell phone that they said it came out from the cell phone. Which cell phone? The cell phone that was in the what? That his client is
In
denying
the
that.
toilet.
Mm. The minute he said his client is denying that, that's when I started saying,
You're referring to the part. Are you referring to the part where they say there's a WhatsApp messages between Cat and his lawyer, and then he's saying, "Can I come out of hiding now?" Is that what you're referring to?
no, I'm referring to Kat's statement on his bail application. Remember, he even says that
Okay, okay.
he will prove that some of the
I don't know what
information
they're talking
in
about.
this, yes, he will talk about this. I don't know the context, but he says some of the information that they say it came from the cell phone, he will prove that information was never in his cell phone.
You know
If
where
you
this
guys
takes me
remember,
to? You see, when you watch the Senzo Meyiwa trial, it's very difficult to accept immediately the 204 records because right now we are sitting in possession of 204 records that say Kelly Kumalo is the mastermind, but she's out here doing concert after concert after concert and not being arrested. But they have evidence in the 204 that says it was a WhatsApp call in 2014, but there is no WhatsApp calls in 2014. So it's not that I'm trying to be friends with Kat Matlala or that Kat Matlala has written me a check. It's that history tends to repeat itself. And I am very leery of cell phone records. That's why I say it's so convenient that they are saying he was found with a cell phone on the day that Mkhwanazi was live, and that Brown Mohotsi tried to call him 10 times, trying to tell him, go watch, but the phone was on airplane mode. If it was on airplane mode, how was he watching? How did he
exactly.
watch? And then now Jabs is saying, then they threw the phone in the toilet, but it's not an iPhone. What phone is it? Because if it's an iPhone 14, 15, 16, I have to defend them and say it will survive the water because I do swim with my phone sometimes. So it's fine. Even the Apple Watch can go in the water. But which phone was it? And then it's Cat Matlala anyway. He is wearing what is it? Over 300 Rand Rolex watch. 300,000. Did I say 300? 300,000 rands Rolex watch. So it is possible that he has an iPhone in there. I don't know. They never told us what phone they found him with. Nobody has said what kind of phone it is. Did anybody else notice that?
No,
But now you mentioned the
no,
water
we
thing
don't know.
and how fast they were able
Look,
to do the 204. When did they get the Section 204 download? Go ahead, Mass.
look,
Is it Mass?
yeah, it's me. Sorry, sorry, Jabs.
Go ahead. Go
You
ahead.
know this Mkhwanazi issue, ne? In summary, is just going to show us who's who in the zoo, because
Who's who in the
that's why,
zoo?
yeah, that's why I'm saying it's a power struggle, and uh, I think somewhere somehow, Mkhwanazi was played like Fidel Adams. So
Mm.
we are going to see who is who in the zoo. Uh, all of them, they are going to try to come out and try to clean themselves up while they are implicating each other.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that we need to learn or be aware of and be extra careful: never trust a policeman, whether it's a general, whether it's never trust a policeman. These people know how to make a deal. Never trust a
And they know where to go.
politician. Never trust a politician. These people, they know what you want to hear and they will tell you, even though they know that they are not going to do it. Never trust a priest. Those ones are kulukutus in their suit. They are using a Bible. Most of them are legit. So this group of people, what I like about this commission, they are going to all of them. They are going to come out and try to implicate each other, and then that's where we are going to know who's who in the
And I'm
zoo.
thoroughly enjoying it. I am thoroughly enjoying every time a new character comes, it's like, oh my gosh, we're going to have LLBs studying these Mkulugutus. They are absolutely insane. So I have to end this live here, but we're not ending the conversation. Okay. I've already built the next live. Let's jump over to the next one. The reason for that is this one will auto, it's got some background stuff I got to do. So I don't want to work manually. Okay. Got to work smart, not hard. So we have to end this live. So please make sure to come to the other side. Okay. It's already loaded. I'll see you on the next live. Thank you so much for
N-
joining.
n-
And Mass,
No
I'm also
problem.
expecting you there to continue the conversation.
No problem. No
And thank you,
problem.
everybody. Thank you, Jobs, for honoring the invite. I see the excitement. The people are happy to see you. You were inside Pagati within. We're going to part two. Okay. Part two. See you on the other side. And I'm only doing it on Mzansi Unfiltered. I'm not doing it on GNU. So GNU guys, come home. Okay. Come home. Come home. Bye. See you in the next live.